family, karibuni sana to yet another beautiful episode of the Africa Today show. I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend, and I wish you nothing but a beautiful, beautiful week. Karibuni sana. Let me know where you're streaming with us from in case it is your first time. My name is Joby to our first time listeners and viewers, and of course to the Blackout Fire Network family. We appreciate you, and of course for coming back on this amazing network. Kindly smash that like button wherever you are. In case you are on Facebook, kindly do so. In case you are on YouTube, do the same. In case you are on Twitter, do the same. Reciprocate the same thing. Those who are on the radio station, big up to you. And of course, those who are with me also on Rumble Live, karibuni sana. Remember, you can keep your sentiments coming as well, and let me know how you're feeling today. How is your Monday coming along? And of course, what's the time on your end? For me, it is 20 minutes past 8 p.m. and I'm bringing this live from the 254. Karibuni sana. But yes, like as we get started, today we shall be focusing on Joe Biden as our main focus of the day. But before we get into all that, of course, I have other few agendas to talk about. But before I get to do that, kindly allow me to share the link with the rest of the family. And of course, you can also share the link with those who you know would love to be informed or rather join this amazing platform. Yes, and of course, karibuni sana once again, and kindly do say hi in case you're tuning in. For those who are on TikTok, karibuni sana. I see Michuki, I see Jimmy, Sinya, karibu sana. Kindly do follow the host and tap on that screen. And for those who are on the Blackout Fire Network, and if you have TikTok, kindly ensure you also go do follow us. I see Jimmy is saying that at Sinya. Ni Sinya. Sindo even don't know ama it's Sinya ama. It's Syria. Syria. Sorry. I didn't see it correctly. Sorry. Jimmy Syria. Karibu sana. Hope you're doing amazing. Thank you so much for correcting me. And kindly do follow the host and tap on that screen. I also see Aiden Mufasa. Karibu sana. I hope you're doing amazing. Karibu sana. And of course, do let me know where you're streaming with us from. In case it is the first time, this is the Blackout Fire Network radio station. As we get started, family, I want to take us back to a story that we shared, or rather we discussed right here on the Blackout Fire Network a couple months or weeks ago. I think it was last month, so let's say a couple weeks ago. We had this black young lady who was shot. A black lady who was shot by a white woman just because of going to knock on the door, trying to ask why the white lady had broken the tablet of her child. So we had the babies playing literally on the, in the playground and all that. Then this white woman, because we know, especially with the crackers, how it comes, the currents, the racism and everything, we ended up seeing our sister being shot. So this is what the story, or rather the camera footage behind it. And we have, I know Keith, if he's going to be tuning in, he's gonna be hating on this guy. He calls him a coon. But I want to discuss this because, again, this is a story, and I think I discussed this couple weeks ago, and I went harder on it, where I think the problem where we have most of the black lives being lost in America is because you're filtering a lot of truth from children or from the coming generation, and this is costing us more lives just because we're trying to still fit in a society where we're not wanted. We're trying to fit in a group of people who do not understand humanity. We're trying to fit in a group of people who don't know what communicating is without putting their weapon first. And every time they see the Black lives and how they've been able to use literally their own media, and destroying the image of black people. It has become the image of us as a black people globally. We're nothing but just scary people. We're thugs, we are goons, we are cons, and everything you want to say. So I want to share this very quickly. Big up to Robert. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I see Jimmy is saying, you tuned in from Malindi, Karibu Sana. And thank you so much for letting me know. Sam Wood, Karibu Sana. And of course, do let me know also where you're tuned in from. So let me share this very
We now have some body cam footage that shows moments that was fatal neighbor. Let's put up the pictures full mass to remind you of the background of this. Last month, AJ Owens, a black 35-year-old single mother of 4, was shot dead in front of her 9-year-old son by her 58-year-old white neighbor, Susan Lawrence, in Ocala, Florida. In what local authorities say was the violent combination of a multi-year feud amid allegations Lawrence was motivated by racial animus. Owens' death.
Last thing, if you guys can remember when I gave this report, the first information that came out of this white woman is there was a black lady who was shot after knocking on a door of a white woman, and she was unidentified. That is what happened. But when it comes to black people, it is very quick and easy to be identified, choked, and even you're literally considered as a threat in the society every time you're trying to yawn or even yell. Talk about that. So that is what the first incident was. This white woman was unrecognized. She was unidentified when we had this black young lady here shot by her. So apparently the body footage has come out, and I bet the family must have pressed hard or has been pressing hard to get justice for their innocent daughter. Because what did she do? It was just knocking on the door.
Was reignited. Has reignited the controversy and shot through the woman's front door after knocking. She is pled not guilty to mailed at the Marion County Jail more than $150,000 bond. Prior to the incidents leading up to the shooting, per ABC News, here it is.
Body camera video revealing new details about the feud between two families about Ajika AJ Owens and her children for more than a year before she was charged with shooting and killing her.
What you call for? I called because the lady across the street on the phone hit me with the sign.
In February of last year, Susan Lawrence alleging Owens picked up a no trespassing sign and threw it at her as she walked her dog on Lawrence's property. Sheriff deputies asking Owens for her side.
I took the sign up and I threw the sign. I literally picked the sign up, and as I walked up, I threw the sign. I said, I can go and buy a sign too. It still doesn't mean anything.
In April, Lawrence accusing Owens and her children of stealing her mail, calling her names and trespassing.
How are you?
Aggravated.
Okay, so what's going on?
Okay, I've got young ladies who just keep coming by and think it's hysterical while I'm working.
And we know every accusation they always, because one, you know what's funny? We know how these people react. Like, we've seen the kindest thing we can ever do. Like, we've seen the 2 young black men who are trying to remove ice on the pathway, you know, because they also do pass there. It's a pathway, you know. If it's an estate pathway, anyone can clean it, you know. It's not because you live there. Come on. We've seen how these people behave. That is what I'm trying to say. We are those 2 gentlemen trying to clean the pathway, but what did that white woman try to do? Went all racial, went all crazy, went all Karen on them. Tried to threaten them, telling them, you know, I can call the police on you. You can die any minute from now. And it's crazy because, and it is so bad because every time I try to see most of these videos, this is what happens. Like, I've seen majority of the black people, they're not even given the opportunity to talk. So long as a cracker has made a call, like, hey, my life is in danger and it is because of a black man or a black person, they come aiming their guns at you. There's not even discussion of what is going on. And that is because they know they can easily walk away with it. White supremacy bullshit.
To bring their animals and scream while I'm on the phone.
This woman was a menace to everyone in that community, okay? Based on the narrative that we now have. And remember what happened during the day that she killed her own neighbor. According to undisputed facts, undisputed testimony, contextualized in the police report, this killer literally threw objects at children. The children.
Hello, Juba Jaba. Karibu sana. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope your weekend was amazing. You're seeing that I hope all is well. I'm good. I don't know about you, but karibu sana.
Doing what they were told to do, which is
karibu sana.
Don't argue with adults. You come to me. They went to their mother based on the guidance, the proper guidance she gave them. The mother hears this from their children. The 9-year-old comes with the mother. Mother knocks on the door to have an adult conversation, which anyone would have done. And without provocation, is shot and killed in front of her own baby. Let's put up the screenshot. Now, WESH2 News has obtained a new body cam footage from the night Owens was killed, and the outlet explains the footage, reveals a lot. Some of it is hard to watch. When deputies arrived, the killer was still inside of her home, as deputies can be heard ordering. It's the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Come outside with your hands up. Moments later, she was in fact in handcuffs, as you can see there. The only time she can be heard in the footage is when she's handcuffed, and when deputies gather her information, she's being placed in the patrol car. Show me your hands, show me your hands, turn around. Where's your hands? Anybody else in the house? A deputy said in the body cam video. Can I just get my water? The killer asked the deputy. No, you are not under arrest. You are being detained, a deputy said in the body cam video. Okay, I understand that, the killer says. A new video also shows the moment Owen's kids find out their mother did not survive. WESH2 News chose not to show that video out of respect for Owen's family. Let me give you details. According to Marion County Sheriff Billy Wood, deputies at about 9 p.m. on Friday, June 2nd.
Well, for those who are just tuning in, karibuni sana. Kindly do smash that like button for those who are on YouTube, those who are on Facebook, Twitter, those who are on TikTok. Karibu sana. I see producer on the beat. Welcome. Kindly follow the host and also keep on tapping the screen. Let us know where are you listening to us from. And of course, if this is your first time, this is the Black Fire Network radio station. My name is Joby, and let me know where are you listening to us from. 33 minutes past 8 p.m. Karibu sana Keith, and to everyone just tuning in. We're sharing this video, and yeah, this video takes us back to a story I shared a couple weeks ago, or rather last month, if I'm not wrong. We had this black lady whose baby was, let's say the baby faced some racial abuses from a white lady by first the tablet being broken, and
got shot. Lady got shot.
And the lady went to knock on the door and she was shot. So eventually, right now, this is when the lady has been literally arrested. I think this is the time they're taking justice, and we're having some footages that have come out of what happened. And from what we can see here, I'll return it. I'll forward it a little bit backward to see. We'll turn it a little bit backward to see what happened. The white lady had been calling the police a couple of times, saying that the black lady and the children have been calling her racial names and all that, And I'm like, if I'm trying to look at this situation, you are the bully. But every time we've seen white people always trying to be on the good side, and I'm trying to say that I'm trying to say that it is so sad because we're dealing with the white supremacy, and it is so sad for us black people. And this takes me back to what I was debating the other time, where we've lacked to educate our generation information of who we're dealing with as our enemies. Because look at the number of black people being shot innocently, or how easily we're threatened by white people. I can pull up cops on you and you can die easily. First, we need to know what strings to pull with these people, our boundaries with these people, what and how we should live with these people, because they ain't even people. One, they do not have anything to, they do not understand humanity. You know, they cannot try fit in a society of where we have humanity, and they're trying to fit, because actually it is us trying to fit in their society. You know, we're trying to drag our humanity into people who are full of animosity, and it won't work like that.
Exactly.
Because again, the image of black people, especially the black American, this is what you see every time the people from Africa, they go there, you want to act like, you know, how you see Jay-Z being pulled on the screen, McMill and all that. And it is all just a life full of lies, because not only is your image being destroyed where you are a threat when you go there, where you are the minority, not the majority, like where you're coming from, you know, it is another, we're missing this history, and it is so bad. It is a history that needs to be taught. We need to educate children, generation. You know, don't grow another Sukiana and another sexy red what we're seeing on the internet right now. You know, try grow a better generation. For real, you know. But let me share this again very quick.
We now have some body cam footage.
Don't say anything. I know you ate this corn, but we continue.
Shows moments after a black mother was fatally shot by her own neighbor. Let's put up the pictures full mass to remind you of the background of this. Last month, AJ Owens, a black 35-year-old single mother of 4, was shot dead in front of her 9-year-old son by her 58-year-old white neighbor, Susan Lawrence.
And I was just trying to say, first thing first, understand one thing. When we had these reports coming out, the reports came out, oh, the white woman was unidentified. She was unidentified, like she could not be recognized at that time. Then, but when we have a black man at the bus station just trying to yawn or yell, they are recognized. But white people are not recognized. Come on.
Double standard in life. That's what happened. And her not understanding, she's 35. She was never taught who her enemies were. So knock on the door. The kids had already told you that the lady had been calling them niggas. You should already know not to go knock on that lady's door. You know, you're 35 with 4 kids. No man to tell you, hey, stop acting stupid. This is the real world. I know white people done gas you up and make you black women think you equal white women. You are not. Not in this country, you're not. You are not. And so when they show you by blowing up your head, you're all stunned. Why didn't they take her in? And most likely, even though they took her in, that don't mean she's going to get charged. Don't mean she's going to face any persecution or jail time. They just taking her in to show, oh, look at her. We've taken the lady in. And when it quiets down, they're going to let her ass out.
True. Because if it was for black people, take an example of how I was trying to say, we've had black people all flocked up in prisons. Like majority of the prisons, it's full of black people. And they're going there. Perfect example. This way you understand this is all on purpose again. Perfect example is what I was reading again, where we had this black man who died in prison, and he was continuously begging that bed bugs are eating him, but they let him die there. Not only are they discriminating you outside,
they don't give a shit about us, Joby. Not just that, Joby. That's what we gotta look at. Nah, you guys get this. We gotta look at that Wednesday. We gotta look at that clone Tyrone. That's so everybody's on TikTok talking about how that show has told a lot of truth. They cloned Tyrone on Netflix. That's the Jamie Foxx movie before he got, he took that the big Ugali. But they showing you how they've always been experimenting on black people. I told you guys that. So that's them telling the truth right in your face. And Joby can go look up all the experiments they've done on African Americans in the prison. Not just they just care about bed bugs. Toby, they've been doing experiments on black people in the prison. They've been giving them syphilis, AIDS, all kind of shit inside the prison. For years, Joby, for years. How wicked these people are.
It's insane. Why? What? It's insane. It's insane, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. If you're a TikToker and you're here and you're listening to me, because I see majority of you are you brag here with your white women, your white men, you know, just know you're sleeping with Neanderthals, okay? Go search what a Neanderthal is. Then look at that animal and tell me if it suits you laying on its on your body, or you know, you bragging like you know it's your person. Like imagine you're just
what they
messing
see,
with people.
and
Like,
what they see is not really even a Neanderthal, Joe, but that's mind control. Neanderthals are big ass. Hey, they gonna show you a weird looking white person. That ain't a Neanderthal.
man, I tell you guys, be better, be better. TikTokers, be better. Come here, subscribe, follow, and tune in every day and get informed. Stop messing up. Stop fucking up. That is all I'd tell you. We continue with this.
Ocala, Florida, in what local authorities say was the violent combination of a multi-year feud amid allegations Lawrence was motivated by racial animus. Owen's death has reignited the controversy surrounding Florida's Stand Your Ground law after Owens was allegedly standing on the killer's porch and shot through the woman's front door after knocking. She has pled not guilty to manslaughter with a firearm and assault and is still being held at the Marion County Jail on more than $150,000 bond. Prior to the incidents leading up to the shooting, per ABC News, here it is.
Body camera video revealing new details about the feud between two Florida neighbors that turned deadly.
She calls constantly.
Susan Lawrence making multiple calls to authorities about Ajika A.J. Owens and her children for more than a year before she was charged with shooting and killing her.
What the call for? I called because the lady across the street on the phone.
You got these little niggas outside playing. Somebody come get these niggas. Somebody's got the niggas. Police. These little niggas are playing outside. Well, they bother you there? Are they on your property? No, but they're black. And I don't like looking at these niggers.
And this is what I'm telling you. We need, again, black people. And this is us globally. Black people, we need to educate our children about these crackers. Because, trust me, these people have grown up knowing and they have been educating each other and their children. I think the instant a baby, like the sperm just injects with the ovum, like the baby just knows, like, you know, you should not be meeting or connection with anything called black. Okay? Like, because it's in the genes, like, it's in the genes. These
like
people,
like no man's business.
Man, it's in the genes. And you see even them trying to even educate this in their schools where they're trying to make black children hate their skin color but love the white people. And the other way around too. They try to educate their children to hate black children. Be racist as much as you can, man. Every time you see these people, make them feel like shit. Make them feel like shit. And this is why you'll see a child who grow up in fear. Like, come on, it's messing us up. We need to deal with this, okay? We need to deal with this. And if you don't, it's majority of us who's gonna end up being depopulated because that is the agenda. We're gonna be given a lot of bubble gums in so many ways. A lot of them. They bring all sorts of lollipop. They bring all sorts of ugali. We take in all types of skuma wiki, githeri, avocado.
Got that shit right. Over and over again, too. Over and over again.
We need to be better. We need to be better. We need to mature up. That is what I'll say. We need to be better. But let me continue with this very quickly. Big up to Roba, karibu sana.
February of last year, Susan Lawrence alleging Owens picked up a no trespassing sign and threw it at her as she walked her dog on Lawrence's property. Sheriff deputies asking Owens for her side.
I took the sign up and I threw the sign. I literally pick the sign up, and as I walk sometimes with the sign, I said, and I can go and buy a sign too. It still doesn't mean anything.
In April, Lauren's accusing Owens and her children of stealing her mail, calling her names, and trespassing.
How are you?
Aggravated.
Okay, so what's going on?
Okay, I've got young ladies who just keep coming by and think it's hysterical while I'm working to bring their
And
animals.
we know it's all lies. This is all
It's
lies. All
All lies, of
lies.
That's what they do. You know, they got exactly all lies.
Mm.
And scream while I'm on the phone.
This woman was a menace to everyone in that community, okay? Based on the narrative that we now have. And remember what happened during the day that she killed her own neighbor. According to undisputed facts, undisputed testimony, contextualized in the police report, this killer literally threw objects at children.
Children.
The children doing what they were told to do, which is
Wait.
don't argue with adults.
Yep.
You
Argue with
come
her.
to me.
Dummy.
They went to their mother based on the guidance, the proper guidance she gave them. The mother hears this from their children.
Mama,
The
she called us a
9-year-old
dirty nigga. She called us a dirty
comes with the
nigga.
mother.
She said, you niggas, don't you come on my damn property, you dirty niggas. How dare you niggas? And so we went to mama, she called us a bunch of niggas and said don't go on her property. But we wasn't on her property. We thought they just playing in the street away from her property. And then as a woman, knowing, as Joby said, you're supposed to know you're supposed to raise, that lady wasn't raised right. You're supposed to know, oh, I can't go over there unarmed. This lady's crazy. Especially in Florida, everybody's got a weapon. There's no telling, she's unsafe. So I need to prepare I need to call the police and let them know, just tell them about the incident. I was like, the police are not gonna do nothing, but you're gonna have to decide to move away from where you're at, lady, because it's gonna end up with her committing violence against you. You can't go knocking on some lady's door and think, white people, they know you black, lady. You don't got no rights in America concerning nobody white. They're gonna blow your head off with immunity. That's why she can shoot you in the head and say, oh, she was scared. They didn't take her away, like Joby said. They didn't take her away that night, knowing that she killed that lady. It's only when people started uprising. Hey, what's going on? This lady killed somebody. Why isn't she not being taken in? Only till then did the police feel threatened with their jobs to go and make an arrest.
Exactly.
And believe me, they're gonna let this die down. Say, don't worry about it. We're gonna let the publicity down. People gonna forget about it, and we're gonna let your white ass out here go home, and eat your cat food, lady. You got your big old thing of cat food, don't you? Yes, I do.
Like they always do. Like they always do, because it's them running and ruling the world. You know, it's them people. So they know they got protection.
Exactly.
It's
called the complexion, Joby. The complexion for the protection.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Mother knocks on the door to have an adult conversation, which anyone would have done.
And blew her head off in front of a child.
And without provocation, is shot and killed in front of her own baby.
Wow.
Let's put up the screenshot.
Man, see your mama getting blown away. That's gotta be rough.
Now, WE.
That should make you grow up. So I don't know, man. I can't even try fathom my thought. Me as a baby seeing my beloved being shot in front of me.
You're a fighter, Joby. Most African people are docile.
That would destroy me, and it would make me wanna fight back the white society so bad, because there's no way you're gonna be existing, living freely, shooting people in their head.
You're a fighter, Joby.
Oh
most African people are not. You're a fighter.
ESH2 News has obtained a new body cam footage from the night Owens was killed, and the outlet explains the footage reveals a lot. Some of it is hard to watch. When deputies arrived, the killer was still inside of her home. As deputies can be heard ordering, it's the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Come outside with your hands up. Moments later, she was in fact in handcuffs, as you can see there. The only time she can be heard in the footage is when she's handcuffed, and when deputies gather her information, she's being placed in the patrol car. Show me your hands, show me your hands, turn around. Where's your hands? Anybody else in the house? A deputy said in the body cam video. Can I just get my water? The killer asked the deputy.
Can I get my water? I'm
You
thirsty
are-
after shooting this bitch in the head. Thirsty,
The
goddammit.
The disrespect. It's the disrespect.
No,
thirsty.
you are.
I'm thirsty, Joby.
If it was
No,
a black person, you'd be tased. There's no time to
You,
talk about water.
you got that shit right. Paige, you might have been shot. You might have been shot. Paige, shit.
Not under arrest.
You ask for water, they're tasing. Shut the F up, man. You trying to ask for what? You know,
And it told her, you're not under arrest. We just want to talk to you.
You are being detained, a deputy
You just
said in
been-
the body cam
they-
video.
Exactly. They didn't
Okay, I
arrest her.
understand
You just being detained. You know, yes, after blowing this bitch's head off, I'm thirsty.
The killer says. A new video also shows the moment Owen's kids find out their mother did not survive. WESH2 News chose not to show that video out of respect to Owen's family. Let me give you details. According to Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods, deputies at about 9 p.m. on Friday, June 2nd, responded to a call regarding alleged trespassing at an apartment complex. While en route to the address, deputies learned that there had been shots fired. Upon arriving at the scene, they located an adult female victim, later identified as Owens, suffering from a gunshot wound, and immediately began rendering aid until medics could reach the area. Unfortunately, she succumbed to her wound and was pronounced dead. Prior to the shooting, the children of the victim were playing in a field near their home when the shooter yelled at them to, quote, get off her land, and called them racial slurs. Attorney Ben Crump, who's representing the Owens family, said in a press release, additional reports
Benjamin Crump bullshit.
state that the killer also allegedly threw a roller skate at one of them, talking about the kids. Following the arrest,
You dirty
Owens'
niggas,
mother
get out of
Pamela-
here. Throw a skate at them. You dirty niggas, get out of here. Throw a skate at their ass. God damn.
Like Joe Mosquito, must it have to be daddy niggas?
Dirty.
Yeah, spoke about all her grandchildren.
She didn't
Have
say
lost-
you clean niggas.
They're the dirty ones here.
With the death of their mother, and she spoke about the burden they now carry. Owen's 9-year-old was with his mother when she was killed. In his soul, in his heart, is his fault that his older brother, his baby sister, and his baby brother, as well as himself, would never see. Their mother again. Because he went home and told his mother
Choked up.
what this woman did to him. Who wants that burden? As an adult,
To get their mama killed.
who wants that burden? Nobody. This 9-year-old. 9 is obviously a very young age, but cognitive enough to understand how heavy, how severe, how final death is. To the grandmother, you become now the personification of two people, of your daughter and of the grandmother that they've always known. To the 9-year-old, this is not your fault. This is a cause and effect relationship of the kind of nation that we're in, the kind of indoctrination that leads to racist, evil
Exactly.
people.
Exactly. Black people rag
Like the woman.
The media destroys our image. Propaganda works on them. That's why I was in that county in Jasper. My show Joby when they I forgot that guy's name. They dragged and murdered out here back in '98. They took him in a rope, choked him, and dragged him in the street butt naked till he bled to death. Dragged him on the asphalt for miles and ripped his body to shreds. Yeah.
Damn.
Kind of hate that. You don't get nobody black ever doing no shit like that. Because we are human beings. We don't do shit. We're not animals. We're not wicked, wild animals.
White people, I don't know, man. We need books teaching the history of white people. Okay, we don't need this Bible bullshit. We need history of these people because I can't explain.
I'm on TikTok, Joby. The Lord is coming. The Lord loves you. And praise the Lord.
Yeah. You find them here telling you, place your hand on the screen, you'll get all the blessings so long as you send $1 or $2. And you're there wasting all your money and you can't even have ugali flour waiting on Jesus to help you. I can't fathom my head with the white people's reaction towards this. It's just the hatred for me, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
The hatred, and it's there.
Yeah, black people can't fathom that kind of hate. Exactly. We don't hate like that.
It's full of fear because they hate us, and at the same time they're scared of us.
Yes.
Because they know they know our history, what we are capable of, how powerful we are, and they have nothing apart from machines, which they all took away from us. They have nothing, nothing.
Right. It's a hatred and a fear. The hatred, a fear, and an envy. It's a jealousy, it's an envy. Exactly right.
The caveman. It's crazy. But Jaba karibu sana. Once again, you're saying that a year of conflict, she should have filed a protection from abuse court order, then becomes a criminal action inside of a civil action getting shot. Well, do you think still it would have helped anyway? Because
it's a white owned town. We know. I did that video with Joby, that little white girl up in North Carolina. I mean, the little black girl, but she was just trying to start a business, and she had saved enough money and bought 2 school buses and renovated them, and was going to do a traveling salon. Travel to people's houses and do their makeup and hair and stuff. And she bought land. The little girl bought land to park the buses that she bought. And the white people next to it came and vandalized the damn buses and told her to get off her own land. Said, "Nigga, get off my land." She said, "But this is my land. I bought it." Did you hear me, nigga? I said, "Get off my land." He said, "This is my land. I bought this land. This is my land." Nigga, you better get your ass off this land. I just told you.
Man. And it's how they just come on. We can't keep on letting these people get their way out. Mommy, I'm tired of debating. I want to see actions. Like I want to see. This should be like I was watching a certain movie yesterday, and it was kind of saying how this world is a game. Like, and if you kind of look at it, it should be a game of war, because there's a lot of war going on, but we're not fighting like we're being killed, but the people in the game are killing us. Like, there's a sort of a game that is going on, but we are the ones who are being affected, and we are not even involved in the game.
Exactly what Joby's saying. When that girl called the police, like she was just trying to say, when that little girl called the police, look, the police told her, there's nothing we can do. White people are wrong, but they're white. You're black. He said, "But this is my land. I'm calling you for protection. They vandalizing my business, and they're on my land." He said, "Yeah, well, nothing we can do. Maybe you go ahead and sell your land or something. But we're not gonna lock up. We're not gonna lock up the white people."
Mm-hmm. And at that time, you've already signed some papers with the same government that is supposed to protect your property. The same people are capable of giving away your property to other people. Oh my God!
That's how all the land was stolen from black people. You go back 100 years, coming out of slavery, black people owned more land back then than they do now. It was all stolen and given to white people. Given to them. Not same way they stole this shit in Africa. Same way they stole it here. They didn't pay people for it. They stole it.
They didn't. Then what do they know? What do they know? What do they know? As if I think we've seen even today. I'm still asking what's up with the African leaders. I've seen also the Ethiopian president came out during the Russia-Africa summit and said how for the longest time the Western nations have been using dollar as a weapon to control the rest of the world and all this. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad you guys are literally speaking right now, but you are allowed to speak about it right now, and again, there's no literally going to bring, I'm like, yeah, you're telling people the facts right now, but isn't it a little bit too late? Because the same person...
They only tell the facts, Joe, because they're allowed to tell the facts. Why couldn't they knew it 10 years ago when Gaddafi was saying the same thing, Joby, but ain't none of them spoke up with Gaddafi because you wasn't allowed to say it. It's just that like Robert and TikTok got it right. They're just moving the system, Joby, from west to east. Now they can say it. That's it. These stupid niggas ain't got no courage. They're cowards.
This I was asking earlier today on my show again. If you didn't catch up with it, go catch up with it. I questioned a very simple question. What is going on with African leaders? Because they're saying something and we're buying it. Because we believe with... No, for the people who just follow the mainstream media, we think like these people are now waking up and there's a revolution.
That sounds good, exactly. That's the stuff that African people want to hear. We're tired of people stepping on us. African people might not know the whole truth, but they know inherently that white people have been stepping on them. White people have controlled their countries. White people have stolen from them. They might not know the sophistication of it, but they know shit ain't right.
That is what they're trying to do. But we need to wake up and understand that this is one, they're being told what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and who to say it to. The divide and conquer mission is working so well, and they are doing it by keeping us so stupid by their missions they've already accomplished and fulfilled for the longest time. Right now, they're coming to tell us about it, They have been using the dollar for the longest time. So why come tell us right now? You're like, oh, we need one common currency. You should have done that long time ago. But anyway, as we speak of history, we switch back a little bit on this one. On that story of that black lady, we shall be looking forward to see if justice, in this unjust world, if it shall be found, because we know that is impossible.
That lady gonna be back at home, talking shit to the next black family that moves next year. Oh, it's some more goofy, dirty niggas that moved in beside me now. I don't know. I already killed a couple of you niggas before. What? Yeah.
What I tell the family is let her rest in power or rest in peace, and just allow the lady to reincarnate and come back and learn correctly, And the rest of you goofy niggas, you're gonna do the same. Sorry to say, and the rest of us too. If we don't follow suit and go the right way, sorry for us, but that is how we're gonna die and come back until we find our purpose, and our purpose is waking up from these crackers. That is what we're meant to do, literally, nothing else. Enough of us living in this toxic world that they have created for themselves and created through their own laws and rules, which is full of illusions and lies, because there's a lot of things, man. And we used to see in tunes, we think it's all bullshit. Time, dates, everything. They messed everything up, these people. They messed everything up.
Why do you think they changed the history lessons in Florida? They completely changing history in the state of Florida, and they got their bootlicking handkerchief head black coons to whenever white people want to do fuckery, they put black coons out in front, like despot leaders or coons in America. They put them out there to carry their water, carry the soap, the lie. So you got all these black coons, this man and this woman, telling lies about slavery and how slavery wasn't that bad, and you got skills. I'm gonna get skills. I'm getting beat and raped and killed, and I can never leave. Where do these skills benefit me? I'm born on this damn slavery plantation. I die here. How these skills benefit me? What are you talking about? But that's the nonsense that I'm saying, because white people always make a fake lie in history, always, because they don't want to tell you who they are as a people. The shit they've done is all the history books in Africa a lot. So when they tried to tell the truth in Ghana, somebody caught us. Hey, what kind of book is this? This book is telling the truth. Hey, get this book out of here.
But anyway, let me share this video very quickly as we speak of history. This is some hidden history, part of what we're not even taught in school. And I bumped into this video and I find quite it interesting. And that's why I asked you if you know who Nyaga is. But they're going to be explaining on this video. It's part of what happened during the slavery moments, talking about civilization. But I'm also learning, so kindly let us learn together on this
video. You'll learn about 3 unforgettable Black historical figures that you were never taught in school, but helped in shaping global history in very significant ways. From discovering and leading a band of free slaves to forming a new settlement in a new land, to the tale of a woman demanding that her right be respected in a time when women were not regarded with any significance. What you'll learn shortly will blow your mind. Let's get right into it. Gasper Yanga. Gasper Yanga is popular.
Gasper Yanga. Yeah, I know that is. Yeah, Gasper Yanga. I know what that is. Yeah.
Okay.
Liberator of the Americas. He is notable for leading one of colonial Mexico's first successful slave uprisings, and would go on to establish one of America's earliest free Black settlements. Gasper, often called Yanga or Nyanga, was born on May 14, 1545. He is said to be one of the Brand people from the royal lineage of Gabon, located in today's West Africa, where he was born and raised before he was captured and sold into slavery in Mexico, and given the name Gasper Yanga after his capture. Yanga was an enslaved...
So what I'm trying to understand from this video, like the other one we heard of that black man, I think we've shared this multiple of times, and every time we share it, our channel is getting striked, of the black guy who was being beaten, being forced to change his name. So my question is, what they used to do, like, did they forced us to change our names, like by when they like it was by force? It was
yes, you do. Who's gonna change their name to somebody white people's name, Joby? Of course, you would, because that's how you colonize the mind for the next generation. You say you force them to take on your name, you force them to take on your language. Then you force them not to know who they are, and you start destroying their own culture. So you start, that's called conquering. You know, you make them accept your culture and say that I'm the superior culture. And then America, you teach them that, hey, you people never had no culture. You people never came from you teach the babies after the parents die, you know what? You always was a slave. Say, what was I before this? You always been a slave, baby. That's what your people always been. So then you don't even know the shit about Africa no more. You don't even know where your people came from or what they've ever done as a child. Your language is gone. Of course, all your spiritual practices are gone. You're forced to worship white Jesus. You're forced not to know who you are. You're told, some people tell you, you came from Africa, it's all first, it's dirty, they're all backward and savage. But most times, don't even do that. They told hell, don't even do that. Tell them that when the kids ask, what would we be before we were slaves? What would we do? Oh, baby, you always been a slave. You always been a slave. Your people always been slaves. They always been fucked up. They never been nothing but slaves. That's what your people always been. You go your whole life and die. You don't know shit about who you were, who your people were. They take away your history and destroy it.
It's crazy, man.
Worker in the sugarcane plantations of Veracruz, Mexico, while working under terrible conditions. In 1570, Yanga was able to convince some group of people, and with his group of new followers, revolted against their captors, and were able to escape. They fled through the mountainous regions near Cordoba and established a Yanga was immunity, where they were able to live freely without any interference or disturbance from Spanish authorities for more than 40 years. Yanga assumed the role of spiritual and military leader and was able to structure an agricultural community that performed effectively and also produced in an ordered capacity. Under his leadership, the community easily grew in strength and was able to expand to other locations, although there is no clear record of how this movement developed. By 1609, this community of former slaves included more than 500 men, and consequently, there were rumors that Yanga and his men were planning a large-scale revolt against the Spanish authorities. Yanga also had a band called the Cimarrones. While this group helped to ensure order and calm in the community, Yanga and his band were perceived as being a threat to the colonial system of slavery, as they acted in a daring manner and opposed activities of the royal commerce and authority. Indeed, Yanga and his men grew in power and influence and became a threat to the Spanish government. Warnings increased during the reign of Viceroy Luis de Velasco, and the Viceroy was alerted of a possible black uprising. According to the rumors, this uprising would see the runaways murder whites and name a black maroon as king. De Velasco didn't give much attention to these rumors at first, but rather ordered the severe whipping of several enslaved people who had already been imprisoned for other kinds of crimes. After some period, the band was implicated in the disruption and looting of trade goods. Yanga's maroon not only plundered the haciendas and farms in order to survive, they also attacked the Viceroyalty-era Mexico-Veracruz Road. This was along the Camino Road, also known as the Royal Road, which lies between Veracruz and Mexico City. It was an important road that connected the Gulf's main port with the capital of New Spain. The band was also held responsible for attacking nearby haciendas
New
and
Spain
kidnapping
before
indigenous
it
women.
became Mexico. And isn't it funny? The first president of Mexico was black, as racist as that place is. First president of Mexico, when they were fighting the Spanish getting their freedom, was a black man. And they act like they don't even remember him no more. Fuck them. So what? So what? We hate you, dirty niggas.
The continuous attacks became a source of trouble for the authorities. Throughout the colonial period, the roads where these attacks were prominent was the most used transit and communication route in the Americas, and its economic importance was essential
Yeah, we have a ramp. We ramp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
for the development of Spain. The attacks got the Viceroy upset, and he sent some militias to subdue Yanga and his group.
Okay. Yeah.
Their community was eventually attacked, and they tried to destroy
You guys
Yanga
got
and his group.
It's a pallet you guys got.
Hello to DJ K45.
Yeah, usually the last time I came, they just pulled it off.
Assumed that destroying the community and its leader would serve as a deterrent to other would-be rebellious slaves, that the Spanish authority over them was absolute. However, the fugitives were able
Karibu DJ K45. It's because I'm sharing a video. You can switch over to our YouTube channel, Handa Blackout Fire Network. I'm sharing a video, and this regarding some African history that we are not taught in school. So that's why it's serious video.
able to defend themselves on several occasions. This was because their hiding places were difficult to access, and this allowed the Maroon to easily defend themselves. The rebellion was really fatal. The losses were high, and led to several further attacks on the Royal Road, which further destabilized the Viceregal economy. The Spanish authority eventually became helpless, as this clearly proved that waging a war against the Maroons was an unprofitable and hopeless enterprise. In 1609, there was news that the Africans intended to kill the inhabitants of the capital and crown Yanga as king. This really got the Viceroy upset, and he quickly instructed the Spanish authorities to send a well-armed militia to defeat Yanga and his palang. The troop of about 550 were led by Pedro Gonzalez de Herrera, and they marched out from Puebla. About 100 soldiers in the troops were regulars, while the rest were conscripts and adventurers. The Maroons, on the other hand, were an irregular fort with 100 fighters holding firearms and the other 400 armed with stones, machetes, bows, and arrows. At this time, Yanga was already old, so the troop was led by Francisco de la Matosa, an Angolan. Yanga was able to use his troop's superior knowledge of the terrain to resist the Spaniards. His goal was to cause the Spanish enough pain and draw them in for a negotiation. This strategy worked. As soon as the Spanish team approached, Yanga sent out his terms for peace via a captured Spaniard. He made a deal which was similar to that made between the Indians and Spaniards, which ended their hostility. The Indians requested for self-rule and agreed to support the Spaniards if they were never attacked. But the Spanish authorities were not ready to give up just yet. They sent another group to Yanga and his palang, and they were
song
And it's
after
funny.
so
That's why you have no friend. The fun that told these Indians always side with white people. I told you that. So you niggas somebody we have Indians. Fuck that. The Indians decided to side with the Spanish and to try to recapture the Africans. Black people, we have no friends. And we just unite with us, we'll be all right. But I don't trust nobody but black people. Go ahead, Joby.
Nebuchadnezzar, karibu sana. DJ K45 kindly ni WhatsApp kwa WhatsApp yetu ya kama last time we'll many text, then we'll communicate from there. Yes.
were faced with another strong defense from Yanga and his men. This time, both parties suffered severe casualties.
Y'all be putting up the history. They'll never want you to know. They'll never want you to know that you beat these people. When you fight, you win. When you're scared to fight, you lose. When you fight, you win. Go ahead, Jane.
Wagwan, Nebuchadnezzar, Madam ako police station.
To make peace. But this
It
time,
was Joby, see, Madam.
gave the Spaniards 11 conditions.
I'm good.
Some of the most important conditions in his term was the recognition of the freedom of all of the Phalanx residents prior to 1608, acknowledgement of the settlement as a legal entity, which Yanga and his descendants would govern, and the prohibition of any Spanish person in the community. And in turn, Yanga promised to serve and pay tribute to the Spanish crown. This took years of negotiations. Finally, in 1618, the treaty was signed, and the town of San Lorenzo de los Negros was officially recognized by Spanish authorities as a free black settlement. By 1630, the town of San Lorenzo de los Negros de Cerralvo was established. The town is located in today's Veracruz province and is now known as Yanga. In 1871, about 50 years after Mexico gained their independence, Yanga was designated as a national hero of Mexico and also named the El Primer Libertador de las Americas.
It's funny, national hero, and the Mexicans are racist as hell. The little Indian Mexican racist as hell who ain't never fought. But the black people always fought. Their first president who defeated Spain was African. And also abolished slavery there in Mexico completely. Their first president was an African. So what? So what? We still hate you niggas.
Nebuchadnezzar, I don't think so. I don't think it is a respectable name. I don't like it. Just call
What's the
me
respect?
Joby.
Oh, what was the name we wanted to get you?
He calls me. He loves calling me Madam. I don't like the name Madam.
Does it make you sound old?
Yeah, and right here we know Madam is they are at the police station. We don't know who Madam is. Madam is at the police station, not me.
Published in an anthology in 1870 by Vicente Riva Palacio, he characterized the Maroons of San Lorenzo de los Negros as proud men who would not be defeated.
And imagine that when African men wasn't cowards.
Typically, the 1500s and 1600s are defined by the activities of the male Spanish conquistadors and governors whose names mark several streets in cities like Coronado, Peralta, de Vargas. The efforts of these men brought families of soldiers to settle in areas now called New Spain. Their efforts was to get back lands originally occupied by indigenous Pueblo peoples since the 13th century. There are so many documented horrors inflicted on the Pueblo people during the claim of their land by the Spanish. The victory over the Pueblo people are celebrated during the Entrada and other fiestas. However, while this happened, one woman was challenging the effort of the Spanish authority to affirm the survival of Catholicism and Spanish bloodlines while suppressing other faiths and ethnicities. You may have heard of the heroic stories of Black women freedom fighters like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, and Mary Ann Shadd. You've been taught the history of Black women fighting for freedom. However, you may not know that women have been revolting against oppression as far back as the 16th century with the effort of Black women like Isabel de Olvera. Isabel Olvera was one of these women. In fact, she was at the forefront of it. Isabel was a free woman of African descent. She lived in Querétaro, Mexico, and joined a relief expedition, traveling on the Guerra de Reza expedition to Santa Fe. The mission of the expedition was to strengthen the Spanish claim to the colonized province of Santa Fe de Nuevo Mexico. During this period, she will travel as a servant to a Spanish woman. Although there is just very little story about her that is known, her impact and commitment to the liberation of enslaved African Americans remains a remarkable influence in Black history. She is well known for an extraordinary deposition that she filed with the mayor of Querétaro, Don Pedro Lorenzo de Castilla. She stood before 3 witnesses, a free Black man, a mestiza woman, and a Black slave woman, and dictated the following. I'm going on the expedition to New Mexico and have some reason to fear that I may be annoyed by some individual since I am a mulatta, and it is proper to protect my rights in such an eventuality by an affidavit showing that I am a free woman, unmarried, and the legitimate daughter of Hernando, a Negro, and an Indian named Magdalena. I therefore request your grace to accept this affidavit, which shows that I am free and not bound by marriage or slavery. I request that a properly certified and signed copy be given to me in order to protect my rights, and that I carry full legal authority. I demand justice. Although there is no clear record that Olvera's deposition may have protected her freedom during such a movement, the document somehow made its way into Spanish colonial archives. The document became a strong symbol of women and showcased Isabel's understanding of personal freedom. Olvera knew that her cherished freedom could be restricted in 2 ways. One was through slavery, and the other way was in marriage. With the cross-cultural and competitive histories of the colonizers of the African American continents, it's quite amazing that the expressed sentiments of a Black woman survives until this day. Isabel's affidavit remains a legal document in the historical archives of 2 countries in both Mexico and the United States. It remains the oldest recorded example found of a Black woman speaking up for herself. Although her journey started in Mexico, she deemed the document necessary for her travel to New Mexico. She demanded justice and respect for her existence, singleness, freedom, and future. What makes Isabel a more phenomenal woman was how she was able to understand the concept of freedom as a woman in a time when women had very little liberty. Not to mention that she was a Black woman with a mixed racial heritage. The confidence embedded in her statement remains inspirational, and her character and determination would help lift the voices and strengthen the resolve of so many other freedom fighters. Isabel made her freedom a priority, and in Querétaro, her freedoms were a matter of public knowledge. The 3 witnesses also verified that Isabel de Olvera was an unmarried mulatto woman of free status. While she was scared that her freedom may be challenged as she moved up north, she still went on the journey, even though she knew that she may be annoyed by some individual, as she called it, on her expedition to New Mexico. Her powerful words still remain relevant even in our world today, as we live in a time when certain rights and liberties of women are being constantly threatened and trifled. It wasn't out of place that her rights would be trampled on while traveling with 73 soldiers. They took several items, such as food, livestock, and other supplies including nails, medicine, boots, powder, silver daggers, silk hats, linen shirts.
Nebuchadnezzar, there's no music today. You called me 3 times and there's no music today. That's what's up. Tomorrow, Thursday and Saturday, and only on the Vibe Show with Katie and Shimani. For Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, no music.
And 8 dread bars of soap. Many scholars suggest that her statement was made to ensure that she was protected from advances from soldiers while they traveled. The stories about what happened to Olvera upon her arrival in New Mexico, her writing provided an understanding of women of that time, as the main records we have of Black and mulatto women from this period come from church documentation of marriages, baptisms, and burials, and from court cases regarding witchcraft. Historians suggest that women of color in New Mexico sought power over their precarious situations and often abusive husbands by drawing on the help of local curanderas and medicine women. This resulted in the women being accused of practicing witchcraft. Others, like Isabel, appealed to governing bodies for protection of their status as free women. The significance of de Olvera's statement is an incredible explication of a Black woman's attempt to navigate a patriarchal and Spanish-dominated system that was designed to keep women powerless. Olvera exemplifies the ongoing intermixing of indigenous American African peoples, the construction of race in colonial North America, and the presence of Black women in New Mexico from its earliest written records. Estevanico. We've heard stories of European explorers visiting and exploring Africa, but it seems as though Africans were a bunch of primitive people that never left their lands and never had to explore or see other worlds. But one man makes us see otherwise. Estevanico, also known as Esteban de Durantes or Mustafa Azamori, was born in Azamor, Morocco in 1500 and was said to have disappeared in 1539. He is recorded as the first African to explore North America. There is very little written about his background. Some contemporary records show that he's from the Maghreb region of North Africa. However, in some of the recent accounts, he goes by his personal nicknames, Estevanico.
Nebuchadnezzar, this is the Africa Today show, and I'm sharing a video. This is why I told you to switch over to YouTube, or rather go to our YouTube channel, Black Hot Fire Network. Subscribe, and you'll see all our shows every time we are live. Because apart from the Vibe show, kuna shows zingine. So, isi ya ngoma, and I'm not saying documentary. It's a video I'm sharing about the African history or our African people. If you pay attention, yes, you should just listen.
Which means Little Stephen or Azamori, and El Negro, which is a common name in Spanish meaning the black. Different translations of the Spanish accounts describe him as an Arabic-speaking black man and a native of Azamor.
Joe Mosquito, karibu sana. I hope you're doing amazing. Jumbo to you too.
Estevanico was sold into slavery in 1522 at a very young age, while growing up in the Portuguese-controlled Moroccan town of Azamor, right on the Atlantic coast. He was sold to a Spanish nobleman, Andres Durantes de Carranza. The nature of slave trade in Spain was quite different from what was seen in the
Nebuchadnezzar, Joe Mosquito told you to chill.
Atlantic slave trade. In Spain, the slaves had several paths to freedom. It is not clear whether Azamori was raised as a Muslim in Morocco, but he must have definitely converted to Christianity. This is because the Spanish Empire at the time didn't allow non-Catholics to travel to New Spain, so he must have converted to Catholicism before he was allowed to be a part of the expedition. He was given the Christian name Esteban, which is Spanish for Stephen, after his baptism.
Yeah, Esteban the Navigator. And ain't that funny? And ain't that funny? At that time, what Joe was saying, that was the fall of the Moorish Empire, when Morocco was still black. Ain't that funny? It ain't today. That's when Morocco was still black. 400 years ago, 500 years ago, it was still black. Yeah, he's the one. He's the one showed him how to. He's the one showed him how to get over here. Because the Moors are already coming back and forth.
Was led by the newly appointed governor of La Florida, Panfilo de Narvaez. They left Cuba in February 1528.
Joe was crazy. Said Nebuchadnezzar should come back tomorrow morning. You're crazy. You're going on TikTok.
What did he say?
It's Joe Mosquito telling Nebuchadnezzar to relax, and Nebuchadnezzar is on TikTok, and he's telling Nebuchadnezzar to come back tomorrow in the morning. Y'all should go and argue.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's the guy arguing about music, right?
Yeah. Yes.
He ain't arguing. He just asking. He would argue, just asking.
No, I'm just telling Joe Mosquito to go and tell to comment on the TikTok for Nebuchadnezzar to see. And Nebuchadnezzar is saying that nimekumbuka a certain girl alikuwa anaua mbwa atiko zilikuwa kuku zake za na zikakataa kumhonge. What?
On a mission to go to Isla de las Palmas, near present-day Tampico, Mexico. They planned to establish new settlements in that region. However, strong winds forced them to the western coast of Florida. The fleet fortunately landed in present-day St. Petersburg, Florida, on the shores of Boca Ciega Bay. Narvaez was dissatisfied and ordered his ships with 100 men and 10 women to sail north in search of a large harbor, which he was assured was nearby. He then led another 300 men with 42 horses and moved along the coast with hopes of rejoining with his ships at the large harbor. Unfortunately, there was no border north of Boca Ciega Bay, and Narvaez never saw his ships again. The group later marched 300 miles north and got into an armed confrontation with the Native Americans. The survivors built boats to sail westward along the Gulf Coast shoreline with hopes of reaching Pianuco and the Rio de las Palmas. Unfortunately, they faced a storm when they were near Galveston Island, Texas. Just 80 men out of the 300 survived the storm and were washed ashore at Galveston Island. In 1529, Estevanico and 2 other survivors from one boat became enslaved by Coalitican Indians. In 1532, they were reunited with a survivor from another boat, and the 4 survivors spent years as slaves on the Texas Barrier Islands. In 1534, Estevanico and other 3 survivors, Andres Durantes de Carranza, Alonso del Castillo Maldonado, and Cabeza de Vaca, finally escaped their captivity and traveled west into present-day Texas in southwestern U.S. and northern Mexico. They became medicine men. As medicine men, they served as traditional healers and spiritual leaders, serving the indigenous people of the Americas. They became the
Isn't that
first
funny?
Europeans and Africans
So there you go.
to enter.
Nah, they wasn't you, but those are Africans, of course, who knew medicine, not the fake shit they got today, the real medicine, how to heal people. So they end up with the Indians heal, teach them how to heal themselves and healing them. Imagine that. The knowledge of the African. Imagine that. Became the spiritual leader and you know, no Jesus. The spiritual, they became the spiritual leaders and their medicine men. Okay.
Big up to Tony, karibu sana.
They walked a total of 2,000 miles after landing in Florida and finally reached the Spanish settlement in Sinaloa. After some time, they left there and traveled 1,000 miles to the south to Mexico City. Traveling as medicine men, Estevanico and his other 3 companions were welcomed and treated with great respect. They were offered food, shelter, and gifts from different villages who also held celebrations.
They'd always done a
They moved from one village to another.
What kind of shoes did they have on? Their shoes must have been fucked up. 1,000 miles, damn. 2,000 miles from Florida to Texas, another 1,000 miles all the way to Mexico City. Shit, his feet must have been smoking hot. My feet are fucked up.
3,000 people. Estevanico and his other 3 companions traveled through different parts of the continent and western Mexico into the Sonoran Desert to the region of Sonora in New Spain, which is present-day Mexico. After finding a small Spanish settlement, the 4 survivors traveled 1,000 miles to the south of Mexico City and arrived in July 1536. In 1542, Cabeza de Vaca published the Relacion, a book that chronicled their 8-year survival journey and also detailed the life of Estevanico. It was reprinted in 1555 and became the first published book to describe the people, wildlife, flora, and fauna of inland North America, and was also the first to describe the American bison. In the book, Cabeza de Vaca often referred to Estevanico as their leader, as he went ahead of the other 3 survivors. He had learned some parts of the indigenous language and was able to interact with them. When Estevanico arrived in Mexico
Judah Empire, you're a troll. Karibu sana. We love trolls.
City, Antonio de Mendoza, who was the viceroy of New Spain, appointed him as the guide in expeditions to the north. In 1539, Estevanico left Mexico City and traveled to Sinaloa. There, he accompanied Friar Marcos de Niza as the guide in search of the fabled 7 cities of Cibola, preceding Coronado by a year. Estevanico was also appointed by the Viceroy of New Spain in 1539 to serve as the main guide for a return expedition to the southwest, led by Fray Marcos de Niza. He went ahead of the main team with another group of Sonoran Indians. During this period, he was instructed to communicate back to the main party by sending crosses. It was agreed that the size of the cross should be equal to the wealth discovered. One day, a cross arrived that was as tall as a person, and this caused Niza and his main party to step up their pace in order to join the scouts.
Sorry, Judah. Maybe you ain't.
This happened when Estevanico reached the village of Hawica, which is in present-day Mexico. Sadly, this was where Estevanico met his end. Marcos de Niza reported in his own accounts that Estevanico was killed in the pueblo of Hawica in 1539. Estevanico became the first non-native to visit Pueblo lands. There is no clear record of the cause or manner of Estevanico's death, and there may never be any. All of the stories of his death are based on legend and speculation. Some historians have also narrated that he was killed because the Zuni did not believe that he was a representative of the European Party. Others speculate that he was killed for demanding turquoise and women. Another account said that because Estevan wore owl feathers and carried a medicine man's gourd, the Zuni people may have thought that he was impersonating a medicine man, which made them kill him. A different account in 2002 by Francisco Mara suggested that the Zuni did not kill Estevanico, but rather he and his friends remained among the Ashui people, who probably helped him fake his death so he could regain his freedom. Some folklore even say that the Kachina figure, Chakwena, is based on Estevanico. However, both in historical and modern depictions, Estevanico is shown as a great explorer, a physical and moral guide, and a conquistador. If you find this video valuable, we're just scratching the surface.
Yes, and that is the end of that amazing video over there about those amazing fighters, those amazing
Africans, yeah. Amazing Africans who had to fight to survive and really was the ones who trailblazed over here after being stolen out of Africa. Having to fight their ways and really were most of the explorers finding shit and doing what they need to do. So shout out to them. That history's always erased. That history's always erased. You're not to know none of that.
It's there. Big up to Nandi Gracia, karibu sana. Nebukadnezar, you're saying that the guy was asking the dogs nani alikula kuku. Achana na huyo, nimekwambia hao ni mapepo. Makes sense. Let them go. That is just some crazy African person who's just out of their mind. You're also saying that Ebu nikumbushe, when do you play music? Okay, that is on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. That is when we play the music.
And every morning. Come back in the morning time.
He's always tuned in every morning, so he knows of every morning. He's always tuned in on Katie's show. I always hear him tuned in every single day. But you're saying that nataka kurudi kwa archives nipanguze masahani ndio. When I request ngoma, you go back to those days. Ni sawa sawa, haina shida. On Thursday, Tuesday, and Saturday, we are given the privilege to do that. So kesho, hii masaa to conductors. And I also see you saying that Joby sijui sign language. Well, I've translated. Big up to Uncle Wafushi. Karibuni sana and follow the host. Well, John Mosquito, I see you saying, Judah, I'm sorry. I thought you came in a troller way. You say, what the heck? I was less, instead of saying hello, yeah. There's greetings, family. That is what is up. And just saying that much obligated, Jibba Jabba, I saw the link and I came across the site searching. Okay, whatever you guys are really talking about. But that is the video I wanted to share over there. And there's a bunch of more. Personally, I followed the page to see what that guy is all about. I found it today and it's quite really informative. And like what we, it's crazy. Our channel gets striked and others don't get striked, it's just so fucked up. But anyway, as we get into the main topic of the day of Joe Biden, Keith, should I read the article? Because I pulled up the article of what is going on. President Joe Biden designating Emmett Till and Mamie Till-Mobley National Monument.
Yeah, we go ahead and read it.
All right, let me share my screen very faster as I do that. Return as the facts. Let me see. Let me go with this one. Okay, so they're saying that this was on 22nd of July, 6 days ago. That should have been what Emmett Till's 82nd birthday should have been, and President Biden will sign a proclamation establishing the Emmett Till and Mamie Till-Mobley National Monument in Mississippi and Illinois. And the new national monument will tell the story of the events surrounding the Emmitt Till murder, their significance in the civil rights movement and American history, and the broader story of Black oppression, survival, and bravery in America. And the new national monument will be anchored at the 3 historic sites in Chicago, Illinois, Sumner, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Sumner, Mississippi, and just outside the Glendora, Mississippi. And the sites are central to Emmett Till racially motivated murder in 1955 and the defining events that followed, including the courageous activism and leadership of his mother, Mamie Till-Mobley. The new national monument will also encourage and enable partnerships between departments and of the interior and the National Park Service, the local communities and organizations to help conserve and interpret a broader network of historic sites that help tell the truth of Emmett Till, Mamie Till-Mobley. Excuse me. Well, what I'd say from this event before I continue, you can say and you can clearly tell that whatever they're saying, that the Black oppression is what they're trying to pass the history or rather the story on. The black oppression, I just began with the story of that. It's still there. Okay, black people are still being oppressed on a daily. If this is something that happened like years ago until today, they've come up with the Black Lives Matter movement, and all they're gonna come up with, how has it been helping black people globally? Not in any way. They say that the survival of the black people, it has been hectic. We've seen the racism and everything, and the bravery in America, and all this is just crazy. Personally, my own thoughts on this, I don't think, because I bet the family has never gotten justice up to date, and I bet the murderers of these victims of these two amazing people, I bet they were doing something amazing to be killed. Like what I'm just reading, they were activists. The mother was an activist, right? The mother was an activist.
No, she wasn't an
No?
activist. Not until her son was killed, then she was an activist.
What?
Not until her son was murdered. He was murdered, then she was forced to be an activist on his behalf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll explain. Give me a second. Give me a minute. Go ahead, keep reading. Give me a second.
Okay. Yeah, they're saying that the national-wide coverage of the horrific linking of Emmett Till, as well as Mamie Till-Mobley, encourages efforts to honor her son's story through education and activism, elevated and broader reality of the injustice and inequality that black people experienced during the Jim Crow era, and helped catalyze the civil rights movement.
Like you said, Joe, but it hasn't stopped now. But let me interject. Hold your thought. I'm not trying to interrupt you. Let me interject something. The story.
Okay.
I was gonna make us watch that movie, but I thought it'd be too sad. Okay, so Emmett Till was a 14-year-old child in Chicago, not understanding how the southern part of the United States was back then very racist. And his mama was scared to let him come visit his cousins down in Mississippi.
Okay.
So she begged him. She begged his mama, "Come on, Mom, I'll be okay. I'll be okay." Him being from Chicago, even though Chicago's racist as shit, there's still certain protocols that they had in the South that black boys were to adhere to. And so, him probably being cocky, and I'm sure he didn't ever, the white woman tried to say he whistled at her, which is a lie, I'm sure. But he probably wasn't acting like the Negroes in the South back then. He scared everything. Keep the eyes. See, at that time, African people here in America, in the South, were not allowed to look at white people in the face. Anybody did in South Africa, you were not allowed to look at them. You had to look at your feet when you walk past them. If they were on the sidewalk next to you, you had to get down off the sidewalk and let them pass. So him being from Chicago, he didn't understand that protocol. I'm sure he got some people mad by not adhering to being subjugated, not being subjugated like all the other black people around him. He probably walked with too much confidence. So they were gonna put this young child, this 14-year-old kid, in his place. So the rumor went out that he whistled at the white woman, and then his cousins found us. "Hey man, this ain't gonna be safe for you." He said, "What you talking about?" The people saying you whistled at that white woman. I said, "I never whistled at no white woman. What are you talking about?" So that night, they came looking for him to murder him, because you can kill black people back then without no cause of concern. I'm understand this is a child. I understand the brutality of these people you're dealing with. This is a child, a 14-year-old child. They got up in the middle of the bed. They tortured him. They cut his eyes out of his head. They drowned him. They tortured him brutally. A 14-year-old child don't know what the hell is going on. They brutally murdered this child. Then, when they finally got back to his mother, the preacher, her pastor, wanted to have a closed casket. This is when she becomes an activist, Joe. She says, "No, the world needs to see what they done to my baby," because it was so horrific what they had done to little Emmett Till, a child. How vicious their race is, the hatred they have for us. So she said, "No, the world needs to see what they done to my baby." to my child. And so she had an open casket, Joby. So people in Chicago, when the body got up in Chicago, all the news media was there taking pictures of the body and taking pictures. And so that made black people say, enough is enough. We're not gonna take this brutality without no reaction. We're not gonna keep getting smacked in the head and punched in the face and murdered and hung. And no one's getting nothing's happening. So that's why I said it marked the civil rights movement, which it really didn't. The civil rights movement was always civil rights movement was actually a counteract to Malcolm X and the NOI, the Nation of Islam movement that was gaining steam. If a white person hits you, you smack them in the face to try to kill their ass. You know, Dr. King was like, oh, let's all be peaceful and love white people. So it wasn't about that. Remember, civil rights, as Joby said, was trying to get white people to see our humanity, right? And we let them beat us enough, Joby, and hit us and kick us and water hose us and shoot us in the face. That would trigger some humanity about them. They would say, oh my God, we can't be doing this. This is wrong. So they say it would trigger some humanity in them. Now, you can't teach an animal humanity. They have humanity or they don't. And they don't. So we see that shit didn't work. Because then, like Joby said, shit ain't changed. That shit ain't changed nothing. So, you know,
so the monument, the building of the monument to be better. So it is nothing.
So, exactly. Yeah. The building of the monument is a useless gesture, because those people died. When Biden came in the office, he did not open up to try to and lock that white woman up and just died. You know, she lied on that 14-year-old boy and let that old vicious, nasty bitch die in her bed for telling that lie against that 14-year-old boy. She just died. What, last year? Early this year she died. A couple months ago she just died. And they always said they would open the case and close it. They play with black people's emotions, knowing they're never gonna prosecute the two men. It was a husband and her husband's brother, cousin, along with the clan that killed that boy. Nobody was ever tried. No one was ever prosecuted. So you want to build some goofy statue now? These people never got justice. And all this is a ploy for votes. They know you goofy Negroes will start waking up, realize things are selected, that this Democratic Party, as I had Joby read to you about, President Johnson said, I'll have these goofy niggas voting Democratic for the next 200 years for the nothing we gave them. So there's some more nothing that they're giving you, hoping that you'll run to the polls and vote for these no good bastards in 2024, so they can fake the selection. Looks like a bunch of people showed up and vote, even though your vote really don't count. They need to make it look like it does. They need to have the illusion. Look at this. Look at all these people that I had to vote for Biden, even though it's a lie. They're going to select who they select anyway. But it helps the lie better. It gives the lie plausible deniability. So it's trying to fool especially black women. Look at you, black women. You have something to do with Emmett Till's mother. She was fighting for injustice. And black women should know, hey, we're still fighting for injustice, and you ain't gave a shit, not yet. Yes, but look, that's why we're giving a black woman a statue. And you better believe in Mississippi, that statue they put up will be torn down. That statue will be vandalized, head cut off, or whatever. That shit gonna get vandalized. Get this goofy nigga statue out of here. But it's like, oh, we also celebrate the mother. Why? It wasn't about the mother. Her son died. Her son, she wasn't saying, look at me. She said, look at my son. I'm fighting for him. He was murdered wrongly as a child. And her whole life, did she ever get justice? Of course not. Joe Biden, every time these goofy Democrats come to power, we're going to open up the Emmett Till case. And every time they don't do it. Obama didn't do it, said he was going to do it, didn't do shit. Biden said he didn't do shit. All them people died in their bed, and don't think they know who did it. It's not as if they don't know. who killed Emmett Till. They know who killed. They know. They're all dead now. That old lady finally just died, what, 2 months ago? 3 months ago, the lady that died, she just died in Louisiana in an old folks home in her bed. This rotten ass bitch. This rotten no good bitch died. She died in her bed, not being bothered, not caring. You think they're like you. They're not like you. When they murder and kill, they don't got no conscience. They don't say, oh, I feel bad. Because black people, you got the silly belief that they're like you. They're not. They kill with no problem. Now imagine this was a child. They oh my God, what they did to Emmett Till is crazy. You know, what they did to this child is crazy. They gouged his eyes out, drowned him in the damn, choked him to death and drowned him in a goddamn lake or river, whatever the hell it was. And then just left his body. This is a child. You imagine what kind of monster you gotta be? It's a child. And I keep telling you, times may change, they don't. They have not changed who they are. They're still doing the same shit today. Times change, they don't. African people, you better get your head out your ass and know what you're dealing with. Dealing with a humanized animal. You got no clue, because you don't understand that kind of vicious brutality. This kind of not caring for human life. You know.
It's fucked up.
Do me a favor, Joby. Do me a favor. Go to say images of Emmett Till. And it not but dead. Images of Emmett Till dead. Images of Emmett Till dead, not when he's living. I don't want to. I mean, you look at him as a child. A child. I think he just turned 14, so I'm gonna call him 13. A baby. A baby. You imagine how scared this child was? These the same people that put another child in an electric chair for another life. 10 years before that, George Stinney, they electrocuted this child. What was he, like 12? They electrocuted a 12-year-old boy. This is who these people are. These are the same people talking about they gave you some Jesus. Gave you some religion. These wicked motherfuckers.
There is my screen. See my screen?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, see it. That's him. See, I was right there on the left, all young. Then on the right, he's all destroyed. Now this is a baby. Like Joby said the animosity. I don't like to call it animosity. I call it sheer hate. This is more than animosity. This is a child.
It's crazy. But I see Ronnie in the building, Karibu Sana, is saying that the concept of black and white is a social construct, and no one is really black, no one is really white. Okay.
That's what they like to say. Actually, that's not true. It's a social construct. They created a social construct, but it's not. Biologically, that's not true. See, biologically, there is such thing as black and white, because black people have melanin, uromelanin, white people have pheomelanin. Go look this up, Ronnie. Go learn. Let me teach you something, Ronnie. Go look this up. Go look up uromelanin and go look at pheomelanin, and then understand the difference between the biology between black people and white people. Completely different. So it's not a social construct. That's the lie they're trying to tell you. If it's a social construct, why your hair not the same? It's a social construct. Why you don't got white people hair? Huh? And you got a social construct. Why their hair get lights in it and yours don't? If it's a social construct. It's not a social construct. That's the lie the white man been telling you. It's a social construct. It ain't. Biologically, you're completely different.
And big up to Edwin, also seeing the building. Thank you so much for tuning in and also tapping on that screen. So as we come into a conclusion of all this, what do you say, Keith, of the story?
But the conclusion is that black people don't fall for it. They don't give a shit about you. These fake statues are trying to say, why they didn't give you the money? Why they never give Emmett Till's mother justice if they're so concerned? Because they wasn't going to goddamn lock up these white people for killing somebody black. So these statues are euphemistic symbolistic nonsense. It means nothing. It takes nothing away from white power to say, oh, look at these dumb statues that we built. Does nothing. Did the family ever get justice for that murder? No. And so this is trying to conjure up some petty vote for Biden geriatric, Jerry dementia-ridden ass. Oh, look at Joe Biden. He built a statue for Emmett Till. Who gives a shit? Did he lock up the white people that killed his ass? Did he do that? Oh, no. We didn't do that. We never tried to do that. Of course not. Then get out of here with this dumb shit you're telling me. Why did these white people get locked up? They supposed to have the death penalty. They tortured a child. A child. Imagine he didn't have his mother. He's in a strange place. He's from Chicago. He's down in the southern part of the United States. Place you don't know, don't have his family, his mama there. He's taken out, being hung, murdered, burned alive, eyes poked out his head. You imagine this kind of damn torture? You want to give me some fucking statue instead of giving me justice. Because it wasn't like you didn't know who killed him. We know who killed him. The damn sheriff, the damn authorities protected him. The sheriff department didn't do shit. Did nobody do anything concerning Emmett Till and his death but his mother? And the only reason why we know about it is because his mother. Mother started, like Joby said, became an activist then. Imagine how she felt. You send your son down, and you were scared to send his ass. And we all know she didn't want to send him down to Mississippi. But he begged her. He begged her. Then you imagine your son comes back brutalized, murdered. I mean, tortured, a child. Man, I'd be fucked up in the head. I gotta get me, man, 50s or not, I gotta get me some payback. Something gotta happen. I can't walk around acting like, listen, you kill my babies, I'm letting you know, that's it for me. You kill my children, and I know who you are. There's no goddamn way. As a man, I'm waking up tomorrow with you eating breakfast. I'm coming to see you.
Period.
I'm coming to see you. You bet that. I'm coming to see you. You kill my babies, coming to see you. So that's what Malcolm X was talking about when that happened. We coming to see you. No more getting killed, smacked in the head. Black people used to getting smacked in the head, killed, praying and shit. Praying to whatever goofy God, Allah, Jesus, or you're still getting smacked in the head and murdered. Fuck that. You kill my babies, it's an eye for an eye.
Period. Tooth for tooth, eye for an eye. But let me go to the comments. I see Job Muscuri is saying that obligated Joby, you crack me up, lol. Oh, come on. I don't know if I mispronounced anything, but anyway, Job Muscuri. It's okay. You're also saying that Jiba is saying that not just give your opinion. And you're saying Jiba that he had every opportunity to arrest Catherine Dunham when she was a screw a statue. Yeah, when she was alive, a screw a statue. Exactly. They let her live. So, you know, why they let her live? You know, it's just crazy.
They let her live. They let her live. Toby, the boy was killed 60-something years ago. Yeah, they let her live. They let her live. They let all of them live. They know who killed them. They know her. They know her husband did it. They know her husband's brother did it, and some more. They know who did it, Joey. They knew. All these years they knew.
Enough of these animals. They can't keep on copy pasting this shit everywhere. They're in America. They come to Africa and do the same things. You know, you walk away with murder. We don't. Man, this shit has to be taken control of. You know, it has to be taken control of. I don't know how, but African people, we need to take control of this thing. It's getting out of hand.
It was called waking up the masses. What you're doing, it's what you're doing.
You're just crazy.
It has an effect, Joby. Believe me, it does. If it didn't have an effect, YouTube wouldn't take down the channel. It has an effect, believe me. That's why they take down the channel.
I say Jabba is saying that Israel arrests 99. Okay, Israel arrests 90-year-old Nazis, and she wasn't too old to go to jail. And just saying
exactly.
that.
Yeah, but being a Nazi, exactly. Being a Nazi, yeah. Israel come and get your ass if you're 100 years old and you talking about you killed them in the damn World War II. with the Nazis. They coming to see you. They say, oh, she's 90 years old. The Jews say, I don't give a damn how old she is. She about to get this work. That's what they say. They don't say, oh, you know, she's 90. Oh my God, she's 90. You know what they say? They say, so what?
They don't
They
care.
don't give a damn if she's 90. She about to get this work.
They don't care. Jiba Jiba is
They
saying
don't
that
care.
the open casket was on the cover of the Jet magazine and the mainstream picked it up. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because it was
And
so
this is
horrible.
saying that-
It was so horrific the way he was. Go ahead, Joey.
Damn, that's so bad. You're also saying that no black person smells like mayonnaise, period. That is to
That's it, right?
Ronnie. Yeah, nobody smells like mayonnaise. Yeah, but come on. Anyway, don't you destroy the mayonnaise shit when you say mayonnaise. Just call them something else. Tell them.
Joey mad because Joey eats mayonnaise. Joey don't know we call white people mayonnaise.
Yeah, nice. But don't call them mayonnaise. Just call them. You know, when you say mayonnaise, I direct straight to what is in the kitchen. I'm like, man, that's in the cupboard. That's on my drawers. Like, yo, what's up? Let those on my drawers. You know, that's part of my recipe and everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, my thoughts on this, I'd say I believe that is also not okay. We don't need monuments because it doesn't represent where justice has been served. And shout out to Benjamin Crump and all the black representatives. You have all the coons because we see them doing, you know, trying to, like you just said, kid, you know, we're gonna have another after Benjamin Crump. Maybe we're gonna see another black representatives. You know, coming covering up the same stories. Oh, we're gonna take care of this. We're gonna do this, but nothing happens. It's the same history because the same people trying to talk on our behalf, and they are on the higher, on the, I'll say high tables, you know, and they are protected and they are being paid to do what they do, to act like, you know, there's justice.
To be a coon. To be a
for
coon.
black people. Well, there's no justice. To act like, you know, oh, for real, we got in this because of black people, you know, it is nothing to do with white supremacy, but it's just all cap and lies.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's globally. You pay a couple of your bootlickers off, coons off to do your dirty work because come from white people, you start to know, this is some bullshit, it's a lie. So you get your own people to sell out your own people. You get black people to sell out their own. So you get what's called plausible deniability against Joey. Hey, why would this black person lie? Look at this black person I got right here. He said you're all fucked up. So he must be right. He black. Like what? He said you're all fucked up too.
And it's even way bad if you find one who says that, you know, it destroys the rest of you all. Like, I can't help you because he said you're all fucked up. Like, just like he said, you know.
Exactly. You got those black coons in Florida agreeing with changing the history, Joby. Then that black people were happy in slavery. It was a good time, Joby. They were singing and dancing, and it was a good time, Joby, while they was getting beat and raped and murdered and never had their freedom, but it was fun.
There's no skills acquired from slavery. Actually, if we gave skills, we didn't acquire, we already had skills, and that's why they came and took in our skills.
Exactly.
So we can build their countries. We can build up everything they have today, and they still use us because come back to Africa. Exploitation of children. If they have skills, they should come and dig that gold and everything. Get your hands dirty, my friend. Get it dirty. Let's see you crack up and get the blisters if you can handle it. Because you claim we're so weak, but let's see your skin if it can handle how hard a rock, how it is to dig a rock or even use a machete. Can you use that for one constant hour without you getting blistered and looking like a pig, which is rusting and the skin is coming out? We have to put some respect on black people. Enough, and it is all coming again. Let me just calm down because I know it's coming.
Yeah, but you got that fire. That's what you're waking up other African people. Can't be no one could ever call you docile, Joe.
Nah,
I was looking at some damn video on TikTok yesterday. Good video. I meant to send it to you, but I didn't. They were talking about some They were talking about Nelson Mandela. They claimed that Nelson Mandela was given all kind of poison while he was in prison in South Africa that made him docile and capitulate to white power when he got out. Made him capitulate and be a puppet for the De Beers and the Oppenheimers. When they get out, they say, "Oh, they poisoned Nelson Mandela, made him become a puppet he made him become a docile puppet." I said, I don't know about how you gonna poison somebody all them years he don't die? How you get somebody they just become docile? I don't know about that, but that's what they said in that video. Because everybody knew he became docile and he was a puppet for those people, and made sure black people didn't get shit in South Africa.
Well, what needs to happen is that black people, we need to understand our enemies again and again. Now back to black people, because this story, this story we're talking about, and what I started with, what we started with, what we're finishing with, it's all revolving to what I have said and what I said last week. Let us teach generations the history of who our enemy is. Just like Kid said, maybe that 35-year-old lady would have saved a black ass if she knew who she was dealing with. The same thing right here. If that kid was educated by the age of 5, 9, 10 before getting to 14, this place ain't for no you black person. Like, if you don't comply like this, you kill.
But that's what his mama tried to tell him though. But your child, how do you tell your 14-year-old child, Joby, wants to go see his cousin, and you say it's dangerous over there for you? You don't know. Yeah, as a mother, she should have just allowed him to be upset at her. Sometimes your children got to be upset. Oh well, they don't know more than they don't know more than you. So she should have just said no. There's certain protocols, son, that you didn't grow up knowing. There's a whole different world down the South. You're not equipped to go down there because you wasn't raised there. You don't know the culture. It is dangerous. You as a black boy, it's dangerous.
Exactly. That is what because I was to say, have you met my mother? If you had met my mother, should not argue twice. I said no. I said no. And there's an eye. I have a bad eye. If I look at you with a certain eye, just know I'm mad at you. Like, if I give you my side eye, that's the type of eye she used to give me. Like, just look at you like this. Just keep quiet and sit down. Don't even dare say anything. So yes, there's the type of you don't have
I love what Joey said. Mom said, I said no.
Yeah, my mom never used to beat me. Like, she never used to raise her hands on me like just anyhow.
Yeah, I get you.
But her eyes could communicate war. Like, where? Yeah. I told you what? Don't you even make me dare repeat it again. And you won't do that, So that is why I believe we should literally grow, enable our generation to be saved. Because if white people can teach their children to hate us, hey, let us teach. We don't have hate as black people naturally. We love it. We can at least teach our people, don't extend your love to the person who won't reciprocate the same towards you, because they are not built like that. This is not who they are. They are nothing like us.
What Joby said was just common sense. What she just said is common. That's what you would teach your children. That you don't hate them. You teach them. We don't hate anybody because you're African. You don't hate anybody, but you're aware they're not built like us. They don't love like we do, and they don't love us. You need to know that they don't love us. So hey, be accordant, understand that they're not built like you, and be aware of that. Be aware.
Yeah, and let it not hurt you, because I think majority of us get hurt.
Let not hurt.
They don't like us, because we reciprocate a lot of love to them, but they don't show.
I should have said that. Oh yes, right. I put it in the WhatsApp chat room. You guys see that video? I put it from TikTok when that black guy said, "Hey, they don't like you. Stay your ass out of Dubai. Stay your ass out of Abu Dhabi. Stay your ass out of all these Arabic countries. They don't like you." He's like, take your black ass to Africa where they love you and they look like you. Stay your ass. How many times do the guy keep telling you that they don't like you? You go spend your money with these people in Dubai, and every place when they don't like you. I need to find that video. I should have sent that video to Joby. Shit.
Period.
Sound like
So
that.
that is what it
They-
is.
He said, they don't like you.
Mhm. That is what it is. Look at the shame we have been. We keep on being called names outside there every time we're begging. They're asking you why are you running away? It's crazy. But I see Jewel in the building. Karibu sana. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing amazing. Jibo Jabba, you're saying that the same with me, Joby. No negotiations with my mom either. I know, right? Like where? I say where. I told you guys what where means. Like where? Just go. Just sit down, relax, and keep quiet and watch TV or sleep. That was just it. Sleep, take the book, or keep quiet. Just one of the two. Or play with your brother. Don't disturb me. I said no. Just play with your brother. Yeah. Actually, she could tell me, teach your brother how to walk. You're not going to play anywhere with your cousins. They know how to walk. Teach your brother how to walk. It's crazy. When the children are starting to like crawl and getting the baby steps and everything, she's like, nah, you're not going anywhere. You're staying right here.
Show your WhatsApp and just play this one video. I think it's like 2 minutes. Not even that, or a minute long. Just play that real quick. I just sent it to you.
All right. Let's see if Instagram is open. Okay.
Yeah, he ain't telling the truth. Hey, your ass out of Dubai. They don't like you. They don't like us. Exactly. Why people get so upset that these people don't like us? Why don't they like us? Why don't you like other African people then? Stop worrying about other people liking us.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
Stop going to Dubai. Stop going to the Middle East. They don't like you. Did I say that loud enough? Stop going there. I can't stand the UAE, United Arab Emirates. I can't stand none of them. No self-respecting black person should be vacationing in a slave state. Do you understand? It's a slave state. There's like 5 goddamn Arabs there who are really citizens. Everybody else is a slave working for the 5 billionaires that live there. Everybody. Filipinos, Southeast Asians, and Africans are being beat, abused, raped, and taken advantage of. They're slaves in the country so that you can take your black ass over there and vacation and think you're doing something while you're watching all the rich people, be rich. That's all you're doing in Dubai. Why go to that shitty ass desert? You want to go to a desert? Go to Nigeria. They got a desert. You can go doom bugging in
They got seaweed too.
the desert in Nigeria. What going on, man? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you could go ride a camel in Nigeria. You can go to Africa and ride a camel. You could be as loud as you want. You could be as black, loud, boisterous.
That's for sure. I can go out right now and scream, and one is gonna tell me nothing. For real, can you guys go scream right now at your neighborhood before a cracker calls the phone on you? Like, yo, there's a nigga who's going. There's a nigga who's going crazy, like yo. What's the thing? Actually, tell you the truth. I can walk out, I can stand here and scream whatever I want, and not even my caretaker won't come ask me, Joby, are you okay? No, I'm okay. The bills are paid, right? Bills are paid, right? What's up? Can't I scream? Like, that's how we live. That's how we live. The caretaker comes question you, the landlord, yo, I've paid the bills, right? What's up? I can scream and you yell in front of them. What's up?
Flamboyant as you want, and you fit right in.
You fit right
Black girl in Dubai getting arrested for goddamn speaking too loud. I bet you she was using her regular voice.
I know.
All black people speak too goddamn loud. All of us should be getting.
Have you had kids? Have you had kids? Have you had kids?
Have you heard Daddy talk that shit?
Stay in that place. No self-respecting black person should ever go to the United Arab Emirates. As a matter of fact, no self-respecting person, period. Nobody. Should be going to that place. F that.
I've been said that.
Desert. F that
Campus
desert.
violence.
F it. They ain't got
Right.
shit. Nothing. Why go there? They don't want you there. They take your money though. They don't want you there. Look, they took homegirl's passport. That's what they do. They get up, they got people, they coerce people to go to their country. They take their passport and they keep them in the country and they abuse them. I'm telling you, the United Arab Emirates is the worst place for black people. I can't stand all these fake ass social media influencers, all these fake ass pretend like they're balling. They're literally just going to Dubai to pretend like they're balling like the people who own them got all the Lambos in Dubai. All they doing is renting the shit. If you want to go to a place where people like you, go to Africa. Stop going to fucking Europe where they don't like you. How many type videos have we seen black people mind their own business in Europe and what they do? Huh? Niggas, go back to that. They treat you like shit.
Niggas.
Why we keep going to the
You daddy niggas.
places where they treat us like shit? Why we keep going to the places that's built off the backs of our ancestors? Why? Why? Why you want a vacation in the colonizer's home? And then after that, you ain't got no problem going to the other colonizers' home, the Arabs. Keep in mind, they did it first and longer and way more brutal. But you want to go there and have fun with the Arabs and the Europeans, and you scared to go to Africa? Get the
Talking your ass for the ancestors.
fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stop going to Europe and these Middle Eastern countries. They don't value you. They don't care about you. They'll take your money, but they don't give a fuck about you. Go to Africa where the people love you and care about you, and you can be about as loud as you want, and you ain't got to worry about getting arrested. Well, unless you
It's the loud part for me.
go to some of those Muslim parts. But still, you probably won't get arrested, I'm pretty sure. I'm just saying. Stop going to these places, man. Stop. Africa, we got everything. We don't need shit. You get a vacation in every type of tropical climate you want. Go to Africa. You got deserts. You got jungles, you got savannas, you got lions, you got zebras, you got mountains, you got snow.
Oh wow, we have everything. Let me tell you for a free of fact, where we live here, we have lions, we have zebras and giraffes walking in the streets like no man's business in this residential area here, and it's actually dangerous, but people are enjoying it because hey,
hold on, Joby. Oh, so you got lions out there walking around?
Yeah, we got lions, we got giraffes, we got zebra.
Tell me, that's dangerous as shit. I got lions. Nobody ain't good.
It is
Killed that lion.
It is dangerous, but people are loving it and are filming this shit and are laughing and making it trend like no one's. It is dangerous, but people are loving it. Like yo, we just seen a lion in our residence. You have to pay to come see a lion.
Yeah, but that. I don't want to see those lions in my residence. I'm trying to get home and a lion mauls me to death. Shit.
That is what we have right here, literally. But that's the fact. I love the what you said about the loud part there. If I think we've also heard about the bribing part, you know, when the police pulls you over, there's no guns, there's nothing. You know, just give chai, go your way. Just give them $50. Literally $50, you know, just go your way or $1. Actually, if you give them $1, you've done the most. You've done you've done the most, you know. You've done the most.
You ain't gonna get your head blown off.
Exactly, you know. Come here, scream anyhow you want. Actually, the funny thing is, may I tell you, Africa is a free comedy continent. You'll see someone passing actually in front of a police officer and yell, and they're not gonna do anything, you know. They'll just laugh about it. Actually, for most of our police officers laughing about it, and we see these videos trend online. You're like, okay. There's some cool cops, there's some crazy cops, but not crazy in a way of shooting you, you know. They either arrest you and ask you why you're screaming crazy and let you go. That's all, you know. Why you screaming crazy, let you go. But here, hey, if you come here, like if you get in a house in a new apartment, let them know you're crazy and make it official. Okay? Start by screaming and let them know I'm moving here as a crazy person, okay? Be known. Nobody's gonna question you anything, and that's how, you know.
I'm moving as a crazy person.
Let's embrace teaching each other, you know, how beautiful Africa is, how we can come back here and live freely, you know, educate her where love is, you know, where there's love, because there's full of love. As much as we speak a lot of negativities about this continent, trust me.
I know. I I've always told you when I'm on the
Not-
continent, I
not
get
neg-
nothing but love.
Yeah, not the negativities come from these despots, but the continent, our
Lord.
people, trust me, this full of love, full of comedy. Me love my country, I tell you. And Nigeria, I go for this. These countries are comedy free. You don't have to pay for Kevin Hart or none of these people. It's free in the internet. It's free. You just enjoy. You just see people trending for no goddamn reason. You scream. Actually, wait, let me show you. This one I'm telling you, it's a free country as I live. As I live, this wonder. Because we have this woman who got multi-billion opportunities because of literally making screams on the road. Let me call
Screams on the road.
yeah, what is she called?
Called crazy screamer. It's called crazy screamer.
We have the Nduruma. Let me share. We have one. This one went actually even to Ruto's residence and screamed. And Ruto didn't do anything. This is how free our country is. Let me show you.
Yeah, you do that shit in
And
the
you can see
body
it's
and
in front
locking
of a
your ass.
military.
You do that
It's
shit
in
in the
front of a
body and locking
military.
your ass up.
In front of police officers, like.
You better not take your ass in Dubai and do that shit, locking your ass up.
Akiwa sasa ametoa $1.99. Mungu wangu. Kumbe huyu mzee alienda Kenya akasota.
Oh no, come on. Let me see another one. We have the whistle woman.
Whistle woman.
Yeah. We have the whistle woman. She was given a job by the governor of Kenya here. She just whistles and the governor reacted. This is how people do. You just make unnecessary noise and
Priscilla Waimani ndani ya Nakuru town.
at the airport.
Priscilla Waimani ndani ya airport.
You better not, lady, you better not get no passport to Dubai. They gonna lock your ass up.
Adventures. So much bonfire.
But see, it don't make me mad. I find that funny. That's us as African people. I find that hilarious.
Priscilla Waimani niko Nairobi.
Something about Nairobi. All I got was something about Nairobi. That's it.
She says she came from the village. She just began doing that on the internet, whistling and mentioning her location. Then one day when she came to Nairobi, she said she called out the governor. Priscilla Waimani niko Nairobi. I'm looking for the governor, and the governor responded with a whistle too, and that's how she landed that job. Literally, that's how you just you trend like that. You get opportunities because of you having your own freedom and enjoying your own freedom. That's what's up, That's what's up.
And it's funny, and that's what these wicked people want to stop. Our own freedom and African loving people just having a good time, enjoying life. We don't want to hurt nobody. We don't want to take over nobody. We just want to be left the fuck alone.
Yep, because we loving people. But anyway, family, we'll be wrapping it up there. Much love. I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day on your end. It has been an amazing show from my end, and I hope you guys also have enjoyed. For those who have missed all our episodes since morning, kindly do catch up. We've had the Vibe Show, an interview done by Kitty and Shumani. We've had the Vibe Show. We've had not the Vibe Show, sorry, the Pan African Bliss Show, the African Dance.
I know you was jealous, Joe, but that girl on the Vibe Show could sing.
Please. Excuse me. I heard you say that. I was just like, oh no, I'm not even gonna argue. I'm not gonna brag. we don't brag. You know, people with the bad voices are the ones who brag. But us who are blessed, we keep quiet. You know, you just keep quiet and enjoy your gift in silence. You know, you don't go yelling and drinking Dr. Pepper to find your voice. But much love, family. Have a beautiful day. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Take care. Smash that like button kindly as you leave. Subscribe in case you haven't. We've lost one of our biggest channels, but kindly do keep up. If you have been part of
Yeah,
the
family, the Keith Newsom channel's gone. It was at almost 20,000 subs, and we didn't even use that channel for a month and a half. I said I'm gonna let it cool down. I woke up, I noticed yesterday it was gone. I'm like, what? We ain't even putting nothing on this bitch for a month and a half. I ain't been doing no shows in a week. They said, so what, nigga? We know what nope, this shit's growing. No. Goodbye.
Yep.
Anyway.
And we see
much
it.
love,
But
family.
much love, family. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Smash that like button once again. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, but on a different session. Remember, for the Africa Today show on Tuesday and Thursday, we have it on TikTok, on the network, and on the radio station. So kindly tune in when you can.
Remember, Joe, we say tomorrow the Africa Day show will be on YouTube. We know this fucked up tube. We're on TikTok and the network. TikTok lets you say a lot of stuff. I never knew they let people talk about the you know what on there. I can't believe it. Man, I'm going to be on some TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok does
Anyway,
not
much love,
cover a lot of things. But much love. See you guys tomorrow. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Peace.